YouTube channel. So for today's video, I thought I would start a little mini series on my channel, which I've sort of been wanting to do for a little while. I've seen heaps of other booktubers and creators on YouTube do this sort of little series of videos. I am currently in the middle of 12 book series. So I thought I would start a little series on my channel where I try to finish all of the book series that I'm currently in the middle of. Before we start on what I'm going to read in today's video, I thought I would go through all the book series I'm currently in the middle of, just really rapid fire because there are quite a few. So first up, I have the Medoran Chronicles series by Lynette Noni. This is the first Lynette Noni book I have ever read and I really loved it. I actually finished this book a few days ago. This is Akane, which is the first book in the series, and I'm definitely going to keep reading this series when I am off my book buying ban and I can buy the rest. Next, I have The Crowns of Nyaxia, I hope that's how you say it. So far in this series, I've only read the first one, which is The Serpent and the Wings of the Night, but I will be continuing this series. The next series I have is the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. I am up to the last book in this series, which is Finale, and that is actually on my TBR for this month. But I am going to get to it at some point because I was really enjoying this series. Next, I have the Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver. I'm up to the last book in this series, which is Hopeless, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm really tempted to read that one in today's video. Although I have heard that Hopeless is some people's least favourite book in the Chestnut Springs series, so I don't know how I'm gonna like it. And then I have the Six of Crows duology. I read Six of Crows and I still need to read Crooked Kingdom to finish the duology. I was obsessed with this book when I was reading it. I couldn't put it down, so I'm definitely going to continue and finish the duology. Next, I have the Twisted series by Anna Huang. So far in this series, I have only read the first book, which is Twisted Love. This wasn't my favourite book in the world, but I've heard that people like the second one a lot better. And then I have the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series by Holly Jackson. This just came out as a TV show and I recently started watching it, and it's actually pretty good, but it's a lot different from the book. I love the first book. The second book was okay, but I'm still going to read the third one because I just want to know what happens in the rest of the story. And then I have the Off Campus series by Elle Kennedy. I have read The Deal and The Mistake, which is the first two books in this series, and I'm up to The Score, I think it is, which is the third one. I feel like these are really easy books to read. Next, I have the Addicted series. I have only read Addicted to You, which is the first book in the series. It wasn't my favourite book in the world. I do think I'll continue it. I'm going to give the second one a go because I know that so many people love this series and I just want to love it too. Then I have the Heartstopper series by Alice Osman. I think these are such cute books. I actually finished reading this one today and I loved it, so I really can't wait to go and buy the second one and the third one and the fourth one and the fifth one because I thought it was so cute. Then I have the Magnolia Parks universe by Jessa Hastings. I'm up to the last book, which is Magnolia Parks Into the Dark, which is currently out at the moment. What can I say? I love this series. I'm obsessed with all the characters. It will literally just break your heart and put it back together again. Finally, as of recently, I am in the middle of the Powerless trilogy by Lauren Roberts. I'm gonna be reading this one in today's video. I literally can't wait. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and forget about all the other book series that have been sitting on my shelf for the past year. And I'm gonna read Reckless because I'm so excited and I keep seeing people on TikTok talking about it and I need to know what happens. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this one. I'm gonna go have a shower and get into some PJs and then I'm going to chill for the rest of the night and just read this. And I am so flippin' excited. work, which is why I currently look like this. I thought I would do a little reading update on Reckless since I have literally pretty much binged the whole thing. To put it simply, I fear I'm obsessed. I've heard so many mixed reviews about this, but so far I'm just loving it. I can see what some people mean by the reviews. Some people have said there's not much plot in the book, and I can sort of see that, but at the same time, anything Lauren Roberts writes, I'm just gonna eat up. And I simply don't care what other people are saying. I'm up to page 283, so I have about 80 pages left, and I think I'm gonna finish it now. I just need to know what happens at the end. I'll keep y'all updated, but I love it. Day, and as you would have seen, last night I finished Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I've heard so many mixed things about this book. I've heard that people didn't like it, they thought there was like no plot in this book whatsoever, but I pretty much ate it up. I loved it. I loved all the Peyton and Kai moments. I know there was a lot more romance in this book rather than fantasy, but I still loved it. I gave it a 5-star. It made me feel like I wasn't in a book slump, and I've been feeling like I've been in a book slump this whole year. So for my next book I wanted to read in this video, I was sort of tossing it up because there are so many fantasy series I'm currently in the middle of, and I really do want to finish, but I thought I'd switch it up. I don't actually think I mentioned this book series when I was listing all the book series I'm in the middle of at the start of this video. But I'm also in the middle of the Housemaid series on my Kindle. The third book just came out. It's called The Housemaid is Watching, and I've read the first two and I really like them, so I thought I would read this on my Kindle. I'm also going away tomorrow, so I thought it would be easier to take with me as well if I just read something on my Kindle. Alright, I'm going to start that today. I have a lot to do today. I have to pack my suitcase and everything as well. I don't know how much I'll get through, but I am going to start it today. A few days later since I started The Housemaid. My Kindle's just having a seizure, don't even worry. I'm 233 pages into the book, so I'm about 60% of the way through. So far, it's okay. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really sure why Freida McFadden wrote a third book in this series. It's good, but it's sort of repetitive. I sort of just feel like I'm reading the same thing as I've read before. It's good. I'm going to keep reading it. I probably will finish it just because I've already read this much of it and I sort of just want to know what happens. I'm sort of just waiting for something to happen now, but overall it's okay. I sort of want to finish this book this afternoon. Let's go. the other night I finished The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden. So this was the last book in the Housemaid trilogy, I believe. As far as we know, she's not writing another one. I rated this one a 3-star. It was good, but it wasn't anything special. It was a fun read, but I feel like it didn't actually add much to the trilogy. It was very, very similar to the other 2 books in the series. And then I started Hopeless by Elsie Silver. This is the last book in the Chestnut Spring series. I only got 25 pages in. This afternoon I'm going to keep reading that. This one is about Bo, who is the second oldest Eaton brother. I don't know, but I did find out that this is actually an age gap trope. He is a lot older than the female main character, so that's not my favourite. So we're gonna see how it goes. And yeah, so a little reading update. I am now about 100 pages into Hopeless, and I know what I said about the age gap, but I'm low-key loving it. I was not expecting to like it as much as I am. But I'm really, really loving it. I love Bo already. Acts of service is his thing, I feel like, and I love acts of service. Anyways, I am going to read just a little bit more, and then I'm going to have dinner and do all my stuff, and I might read a little bit more in bed Hopeless. I'm about 200 pages in, and it's like a 370 page book, and oh my god, it is so cute. I'm loving it so much. I take back what I said. I'm gonna choose to ignore the age gap. I am obsessed with it. I'm gonna keep reading until I finish it. So yeah, I can't wait. I love it. So I finally finished Hopeless yesterday, so I thought I would do a little reading wrap up of all the books I've read in this video and whether I have actually finished any series. So I started off with Reckless by Lauren Roberts, which is the second book in like the Powerless trilogy that she's written. I have heard so many mixed reviews about this book since I've read it, and I still really loved it. I rated it a 5 stars. It was a lot more romance than fantasy. I didn't really mind it at all, and I actually really loved it. The next book that I read is The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden. This is one of her new releases. This is the 3rd book in the Housemaid trilogy. I wouldn't say I disliked this book. I liked it. It was okay. I'm pretty sure I rated it a 3 stars. I love Frida McFadden's thrillers. I think they are so easy to read. I just don't think this really added much to the trilogy, and I felt the same with the second book. I felt like this could have just been a standalone of The Housemaid, but other than that, I really liked it. The last book that I read is Hopeless by Elsie Silver, which is the 5th and final book in the Chestnut Spring series. The Chestnut Spring series are like my first ever cowboy romance reads. I love all of them. I think they're so easy to read. They're such cute little romances. They're not too long, they're not too short. This one I rated 4 out of 5 stars. I mostly liked it. I'm not a big fan of the age gap trope, and in this book, Bo is 35 and then Bailey, the female main character, is 22. I feel like that's kind of a big gap. Other than that, I really loved it. Bo is an acts of service man, and I'm an acts of service girly, so I was obsessed with all the little things he was doing for Bailey. But yeah, just the age gap thing, I felt like they could have brushed over it a bit more, but it kept being brought up in his perspective, and I was just like, there's not really much need for that. And that is the end of the Chestnut Spring series, so I finally finished that one as well. All in all, I read 3 books in this video. I technically finished 3 series. I feel like I've done pretty well. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.